Hey, welcome back to Shane's Main Shop. As you can see, I'm kind of aiming the camera up because we have a garage door issue. Now, I've worked on these before. This one's actually been rebuilt and fixed and worked for quite a while. These things are 20 some odd years old. But this one now has an electronic problem in it. So we're going to replace it. Now, recently, we had trouble with the other door. It got opened when the door was actually frozen to the ground accidentally, and the chain jumped off the sprocket up there, and I had a recent video showing you how to fix that, so that video is probably already up. But when that happened, it actually broke the housing of the gear system on it, so we're going to go ahead and just replace that one too. You can't get parts for these anymore. I was going to take parts out of that one to fix this one because this one's a gear issue, that one's an electronic issue, and make one out of the two, but I decided after 23 years, give or take, it's time to upgrade and put some new openers in. So we got two of these, one here and one right there, and we'll take you through as much of this process as we can to set them up. As I said, this was existing garage, but you can see my door opener is down, the old one. All right, so I pulled the bars that came with the kit out, and I've got them all assembled here. However, one note, this will work fine for a standard 7-foot garage door. However, I have taller doors. These are 8-foot doors. And if you have 8-foot doors, you need to buy the expansion kit. And that is separate. So your kit comes with the belt for the belt drive, and it comes with all the bars. However, it's not long enough. So the expansion kit comes with a new belt designed for 8-foot doors and an additional bar to get you the length you need to make sure you can close your and open your garage door. So, and there's a few little accessories inside of it as well, because they need to be longer brackets than these. But yeah, just keep in mind, if you have 8-foot doors, you need the expansion kit. This replaces the end piece that goes near the door, so you won't need the one that comes with the kit. You're going to put this one on instead because it's longer. And once that's assembled, and again we did it with the expanded piece here, it's quite a bit longer than the original. You hold this one up here, you can see on the end, and then it stops right there, and the expanded one is like a foot longer, so you got to keep that in mind. So then we just toss that aside, we don't need it. Then we go ahead and put the pulley up here, and just got a bolt goes through. Pretty self-explanatory, it only go one way. Put the nut on the back side, and we got that in place. All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get this bar mounted to the door opener itself. And the bar doesn't mount directly. There's this bracket that mounts in here first. So we're gonna mount that on, and then we will slide the bar itself into, or slide this into the back end of the bar. So we're gonna go ahead and take this nut off and this bolt out, and then we'll get this mounted in place. See, that is all mounted. And I got this sitting up on a chair here just so I don't scratch it all up. I don't have it on the cement. And then I got the rail on a rung of a ladder, so it's roughly the same height. So now we can go ahead and slide this in here, and we'll get that locked into place, and then we can move on to the next step. And this is just a stop bolt. So when the slide comes up, it stops it from running into anything. So it's just basically it's just a stop. We want to go ahead and get that put on. And at the other end here is a little tab you want to bend up. I believe this is the stop for the other end. It's got a little slot there. You can put a screwdriver in, and you just bend that so that tab is facing up. Get the belt start threading that through. Now there's two ends to that. You can see they're different. This one is the end that's going to go through. And just so you know, I didn't tighten this up because this has to go through before you put this on. You got to tip it to get it to go through. Just tip it up, put your pulley in, and then you put your bolt in and your nut back on. And then we're just going to have it in there like that. We're just going to run it down the other end to get it somewhat in place. Then with the other half of the belt, we're going to go down around the motor pulley here, and we're going to bring it back up. Basically, I went around that, or around the other pulley, which we already showed you. So that gives us these two pieces kind of meeting up here, and this is where we're going to hook the track, the tram system that rides on this track. All right, once you get that belt in place, you want to bring the rail up here. And incidentally, I forgot to show you sliding this on. This has to be put on before you, from one end to the other. It just has to be slid in place. And that's it's pretty simple. Just don't forget to do that. I apologize I didn't show you that. But this is the rail, basically the trolley that's going to go up and down the rail. And this has a little weird hook to it here. You want to make sure you have this going the right way. The flat part would be facing the door, and this part over here, which is kind of hard to see, it's more of like a little bolt hole, would be facing or closest to the motor end of the opener. Then this just tips sideways, it'll slide into that rail, tip up, and that's now locked in there. And then you just got to get the parts you need to hook up the other side over here, which is the tensioner system. So we'll be doing that next. All right, the next thing you need to do is hook the chain tensioner assembly to your, well, chain, but basically your belt. So you can see there's a little hole in the belt there, and there's a hole in the chain tensioner here. And then it comes with this little chain link that we're going to go ahead and use to connect these two together. Just going to slide one half of the chain link into this slot, the other half into this slot. Make sure your belt is oriented the correct way to go around the sprocket, and then slide that one in there. Then you have one of these is just a cap, and then you have the locking ring would be the next one. It kind of goes on halfway. It's kind of hard to show, but then it's going to basically slide forward and lock into the other one, but I'm going to have to use both hands and move the camera out of the way so I can do it. You really can't see that. I got it partly started, and I'm just going to use something to push this pin forward, and then it'll lock it together. All right, let me just show you that now. It's all connected. So there's your chain link right there locked in. All right, and then we're going to be installing it into this. So we're going to remove this, slide it through. Yeah, I wouldn't want to try to put that on while I was hooked to this thing. It was hard enough without it. So I actually had to file that hole. It was not quite big enough for that to slide through like it's supposed to. So I did file it. And I'll use the other one that came with expansion kit. Then we're going to go ahead and put the tensioner spring and nut assembly on here. My apologies, I forgot to show you. Anyways, let me just tell you what I did. I put the threaded rod through this hole, put the spring on, screwed it finger tight. Then you take, and there's little grooves in this part. Actually, I can show you on this one here. You got these little grooves right here. And you can see this collar that sticks out beyond. You put the screwdriver in that groove like that. While that's in there, you turn the nut backwards like you're going to loosen it, and it releases that spring and this collar setup. So then you see it drops in against this plate. Otherwise, before, it was just setting up against it like this, and you could see this whole thing. But once we did that, the spring snapped into place, and it was up against this bracket here. So now the belt is snug and looking good. So we got that all in place. We're going to lift the door up, and then we're going to mark 2 inches above the highest point of the door on the wall here, and then mount this plate. And when we mount it, there's a little line on this plate here, and you want that at the lowest point. And it's right about that, right about where my pinky is there. So that would be on the line, which is about 2 inches above the door. I'm going to go ahead and mount that up here like so. Get that mounted up there. Alright, so what I did is I got this lined up the holes, slid that pin through, and it gives you these little kind of like key ring things, cheapies, loop through the hole in the pin so the pin can't slide out. You would have to attach brackets to your door, but where I already had a garage door opener, I already have brackets installed, so I don't have to use that piece that came with it. I may have to change the location of this bar, but I got all these holes to choose from. If you did not already have a door opener, this is provided to attach to your door, to attach the bracket to. It would pull the door up and down. Okay, so I just lifted this up to see where it was going to land in my existing bracket system, which is this right here. However, the new opener lands back here. I can't put a bracket this way like this one because there's no stud right here. So I'm gonna have to run two brackets this way to hit this stud and that stud there. My ceiling is higher than normal, so it won't bolt right up to their provided bracket, so I had to have some hangers go down to it. Also with this, this is really kind of a two-person, unless you have a way to support that up there while you get it lined up and bolted. You really need another person. I got Tracy here helping me somewhere. There she is. So she's gonna get in this on this ladder here, hold it up. I'm gonna be over here, reach over the top of it and get it bolted up. So yeah, you could do it alone. Having two people would definitely make this easier. Okay, so the two of us lifting it up, got it all bolted in place, lock washers and everything. Well, the brackets aren't pretty, but I had to do some bending after I got them in to make sure the whole system was level, but it is very solid. It's not going to, it's much thicker than some of the stuff they provide. So it's at the door, wired into the opener. Next thing I had to wire in is the safety beam system that goes at the garage door. So if somebody crosses over that, it stops the door from moving. Now, I will say this video is for entertainment purposes only. Have a professional install your garage door opener, because I am not installing that thing down there. I'm gonna have these things looking at each other. I've never had it. I don't have kids at the house. They're nothing but a pain in the ass, in my opinion, so we won't be doing that. But how you hook them up is you gotta hook the two blacks together and the whites together, and then they get plugged in to the right. And then that beam has to see each other at these controls, the little I-beam, for the garage door to work. So that's what we're gonna be hooking up next. But again, don't do what I do. This video is entertainment purposes only. All right, so those, the sensor is wired into here, and then I have them facing each other. So we have the green light, solids not blinking, so I know they see each other. And again, this is not how this is supposed to be hooked up. Don't do what I do. So now we just gotta, basically the system has to learn how far to bring the door up and bring it down. So we're gonna be starting that process next. All right, so we're about ready to teach the door where to go up and down to. So we need to hook the bar up to the trolley next. Now this is the original bar from the old opener, but it looks like it's gonna line up exactly. If you look right there, that's gonna line up exactly where I need it to be. And I taut the door quickly just to get the tram down here. And I don't know how I did that, but it looks like it's gonna be almost perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and hook that up, put this pin in there so it stays, and then we'll teach the door where we want it to go up and down to. To adjust it, you're gonna press and hold the adjustment button here, and then you're gonna see the up button flash, and you should hear a beep, and then we'll depress that until the garage door is where we want in the open position, and we'll repeat that process for the down. But I'll go ahead and show you what it does here. And so you can see that's flashing. So when we start pushing this, we're going to push and hold this and have the door stop where we want it. And that would be right about there. And now we're going to do the down. I didn't show you that, but we're going to do the down. And I'm holding that button until it's where I want it. And there we go. And I release the button. It should set the position where we want it. Next thing we're doing is, I kept my original wire, but I do have to use the new switch. That was the thing, I didn't know what it was. It's just totally different than the new one. But here is the new switch. I got it wired in. Now I'm just gonna hook it to the wall. And you need this because this is where the learn and the lock button are, and the light, and to open the garage door. So we're just going to hook this to the wall and start programming the remotes. Right after I hooked that to the wall over there, I just came over to program these, and if you just, I didn't have to. Basically, I pushed it, and the door worked. So both of the visor controls are already pre-programmed and working. So the next thing we want to do is hook up the Wi-Fi app on the phone. So I don't know how much I can show that because I'm filming my phone, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, I won't be able to show all of it, but they do provide a link for the app. So we're going to go ahead and download that and program the phone. So that should be self-explanatory. If not, I'm sure someone's done a video on it, but I'll try and show what I can. One quick thing I forgot to show earlier is this cover. So this cover just pops on and it covers up the sprocket where the belt goes in and out. So you're going to want to pop that on. And while I'm right here with you, I did program the app. It's a MyQ app. It was very simple to do and it works very well. So I'm not going to show that because passwords and all that stuff. Just download the app. It'll walk you through it very easily, and you can set up to open with your garage door with your phone as well. All we have left to do here is put light bulbs in this unit and we're good to go. We have the wall mount thing hooked up there. And incidentally, to do the app, it does tell you to open this up and push the learn button to do that. Then the rest of it's all done on your phone and it walks you right through it. So there you have it. Again, just got to put lights in this thing, close those covers up, and this garage door is ready to start going up and down with the motor again. Stop doing it by hand. Hey, I hope you liked this video. Thanks for swinging by Shane's Main Shop. Please like, subscribe, comment, come back often for more videos. Have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Well, thanks again for swinging by Shane's Main Shop. I hope you liked that video. Make sure you come back. I have a lot more videos. But you know, there's another channel out there that's got a lot of videos as well and a pretty good variety. And that is The Art of Doing. Really just trying to inspire people to try different things that they may not have tried before. This is Shane's Main Shop, but I want you to check out The Art of Doing. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. You ready to play, Layla?